Hello chess lovers, I have a very beautiful game for you played by Bent Larsen and Cesar Munoz. Cesar Munoz was an Ecuadorian chess player who in 1960 Chess Olympiad caused a sensation beating Bobby Fischer. But this game was played 3 years earlier in 1957 in Reykjavik. Let's see how the game went on. Larsen started with knight f3 and knight f6 by Munoz. c4, c5, white goes for English opening, g3, g6, bishop g2, knight c6, white castles kingside, bishop g7, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, black castles kingside, knight c3 and a6. Well, usually in this position white is capturing on d4 and then d6. This is the main line, but in the game we see a6. h3, d6, bishop e3, bishop d7, c5 and d5. Well, if I move like d takes c5, then after knight takes c6, bishop takes c6, in the end of the day this is going to be an equal position. That's why after c5 black played d5, which gives black better chances. Knight b3, queen c7, queen c1, both opening up the d1 square for the rook, and at some point white can even go for bishop h6 or for an exchange of dark square bishops. Rook d8, rook d1, bishop c8 opening up the rook's path, bishop f4, but now comes e5 establishing a strong center, bishop g5, knight e7, knight a4. We see a maneuvering play by both sides. Now this knight is eyeing on b6 square, just a perfect outpost for the knight. Bishop e6, king h2. Well, actually placing the knight on b6 square straight away was also playable, but we first see king h2. And only after rook e8 the knight jumps on b6 square. Knight e4, bishop takes e4, d takes e4. Looks like that white managed to double up black's pawns on e5, but actually after f5, which we will see in the game, black's center is getting very dangerous. Knight d2, we first see f6 kicking away the bishop and only then f5. And now these pawns like bulldozers will march forward, crushing everything on their way. Bishop g5, h6, and we see the exchange of pieces on e7 square. Well, actually capturing on e7 with the queen would have been better, both keeping the queen near the king side, and then black could place the rook on f8 square preparing f4, but we see rook takes e7, queen c2, rook f8, knight f1, and there it goes f4, and this is becoming more and more dangerous. If we have a look at the position, looks like that white has no definite strategy how to proceed with the game. Meanwhile, black is intensifying the pressure. g4 trying to keep the position closed, but now comes e3. This is just fantastic. Rook d6. Well, if a move like f takes e3, then after f takes e3, knight takes e3, black can give a discover check and then the queen can come. This is actually very dangerous. Or after e3, if a move like f3, then white is just burying his knight on f1 square. Black can simply play e4. If queen takes e4, then the pawn on c5 will hang. If knight d5, then simply rook e8. Actually, black has a huge advantage. Black has powerful bishops, and as I've already mentioned, in return, white has a dead knight on f1 square. Of course, these pawns are just demoralizing white's army. Let's go back. After e3, we see rook d6, and now this e pawn is marching forward. Queen takes e4, bishop f7, and after queen d3 we see e takes f2, and this is becoming more and more dangerous. Knight d7 coming after the rook on f8, but black is not even paying attention to this knight. Here comes f3, pinning the rook on d6 square, and already the knight is hanging. Now if we move like knight takes f8, then simply f takes e2, and there is no way to stop these pawns. Or after f3, if e takes f3, then simply rook takes d7. That's why after f3, white played knight g3, unpinning the rook. But black is now simply capturing on e2, and we have this powerful pawns on the second rank. Look at these beasts. Knight takes f8, a desperate move. Well, if we move like knight takes e2, then again rook takes d7 is finishing up white. We see knight takes f8, but now comes e1 queen. Rook d8, another desperate move, and in this position Cesar Munoz found actually the shortest way to checkmate white king. Can you find his next move? Ready? He simply promoted the pawn to a knight. This is crazy, and Bent Larsen resigned. Now if a move like queen takes f1, then simply queen takes g3, the queen is no longer protecting the knight, and it's over, white king is getting checkmated. Or after f1 knight, if a move like king h1, then knight g3 check, and again white king is soon getting checkmated, it's over. Let's capture with a bishop, this looks more beautiful, I think. A very impressive game, I think, played by Cesar Munoz. Especially that final knight promotion is just amazing. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave your comments. Good luck.